I definitely have been thinking a lot about liberation, both, you know, it's political liberation, social stuff, all that stuff, but like embodiment, like physical, somatic, like liberation. Like I'm somebody who I think some of my coping mechanisms for growing up was I'm in my head a lot. You know what I mean? I'm an only child. A lot of my childhood was just me and my mom. And, you know, my mom was a working mom, so it was just me by myself. But also how I navigated, navigated a lot of childhood was disassociating in a way. And so coming back to, you know, trying to reconnect with my body, seeing a similar thing in a lot of other people and a lot of my friends and conversations that I'm having with people, I think, and something else, I'm not quite sure what it is, but liberation, and I can talk a lot about more, has been a word that's been coming up a lot. I've been thinking a lot about transmission, like the internet as a medium, radio as a medium, sort of like how do you induce emotionality through ones and zeros? You know what I mean? Like how, maybe because again, my, so much about how I relate to the world, I can point to church and I think about what's uncanny about going to church and having a preacher preach is you get this knowledge, right? Like you get this encouragement, you get these like intellectual nuggets you can use, but they're really validated because the preacher's like, well, the preacher's whooping, you know what I mean? He's like, and you can tell him when you go to the scene, like the difference between if I say, you can believe anything you put your mind to when the Lord says, I can power you to do anything to put your mind to because I got, you know, it's an emotional, I'm gonna get canceled. I can't wait. But it's emotional, it's enrapturing, it like does something. And it's something about doing that with ones and zeros that I'm so fascinated with. Like, how can like a series of memes evoke something emotional from you? You know what I mean? Like, how can like if I hit on the right couple of references, I don't have to necessarily say the thing. I'm trying to get better at saying the thing, but I don't necessarily have to say the thing, but you can understand the thing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm doing all of this with, you know, mouse clicking. You know what I'm saying? There's something in that I'm fascinated with, and maybe as a medium, and maybe there's a third one. Maybe we'll say humor. I think humor is a method. I mean, one, I just like to laugh. I like to laugh. I like to make people laugh. I like to hear people laugh. But I think some of my favorite communicators and some of my favorite people use humor to get people on the same page in a way. They use humor to communicate ideas. They use humor to soften the blow of a punch, where it's like, yo, I gotta punch you in your gut, but we can laugh about it, or I gotta tell you this thing. I gotta tell you why you suck. I gotta tell you that, you know, you do this thing. I think it's Alan Watts who says you can't be spiritual without a sense of humor. And there's something about humor that I think like you can change perspective by making somebody laugh more than you can do a speech. You know what I'm saying? Like I can get you to see what I'm thinking that might be, you know, if sort of my train of thinking is like here and your train of thinking is all the way over there, humor, at least to me, has been the easiest thing to use to bridge difference to. So I would say transmission, liberation, humor are themes that I think they work their ways into all the things.